Yeah, the back's pretty stiff. Whoa! Hey, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Now today, I'm standing behind 425 Motorsports, and what we're gonna be working on is my 1997 Honda Civic hatchback. And if you guys haven't seen the previous video on this car, I'd really recommend checking it out, and I'll make sure to leave a link above. But before we go into the shop and start working on the car, I thought we'd just take a moment to show you guys the storefront of 425, as well as tell you guys more about our plans with the car. What we got in store today is we're actually gonna be doing a DC Sports cold air intake, because we're actually gonna be gearing up to take the Honda to a dyno day. So the following week, we're gonna be participating in this dyno day with the Honda, and I think we might break the record for the slowest car ever on the dyno. Now, before we do that, I wanna make sure that we get and maximize for as much horsepower as possible, and what better way to do that with the cold air intake. And this is gonna be for more D-Series Honda content, but just know that we have a big plan for the Civic. So let's at least take you guys to the shop real quick. Before we get into the video, I wanted to let you guys know that Hybrid Racing is hosting a giveaway. To commemorate their 20th year anniversary, they're giving away $10,000 in prizes. One lucky grand prize winner will receive a $5,000 gift card, and hundreds of other winners will get small prizes. Click the link down in the description to get signed up from October 1st to November 17th. I did just want to discuss further what ideas we have for the channel as well as with the Civic. Now, with the Civic, we're going to be doing some more D-Series related content. So that's going to be the 1.6 D16 that's currently in the car. But I think that we're going to eventually reach the threshold. Well, we'll get into the conversation of maybe possibly doing an engine swap. But that's all performance related stuff that we have on the way. And I know that in the beginning of all this journey, I said that I kind of wanted to keep it OEM plus, but I'm at a point where I'm having really fun just doing this stuff, and I really do appreciate you guys being in for the old school Honda content, as well as the fact that we did pick up another auction car for the channel. There's just a lot of stuff going on, but it's all very exciting things, so there's a lot to look forward to. But anyways, let's go take a look at the Civic. We can talk more about the intake itself. It'll be a nice addition for us to put this together and be able to see what we can draw out of this in terms of power, because as you know, these cars are not known for being the most powerful thing in the world, but I do think that there's a lot to like here. So we got the intake piping here. It's your pretty conventional stuff, and I think that this should be a breeze. I'm actually not sure if we're gonna need to take off the front bumper, but I guess we're just gonna learn as we go today. And also, I'm gonna suggest too that you guys go check out 425 Motorsports YouTube channel. Oh wow, it looks really nice. It's just so fancy. I don't know what the horsepower gains are gonna be, but I think we'll just have some fun putting this together. I think we might need to take off the front bumper. I'm really not too sure. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna remove the air box. Boom. Also a good time to check your filter. It smells pretty. Ugh. Now, right to the back here, to be able to remove this lower portion of the air box. Get this out of the way. And there we go. And now we'll get started on taking this off. It looks like a 10 millimeter. Take off this portion of the airbox here. And apologies if there's a lot going on in the background. So for this portion, you're definitely gonna need an extension to get to these ones because they're kind of pesky down here. And we can easily mistake this one for thinking that it's actually a 10 millimeter, but it's the one to the left of it that's hiding behind this wire that we're gonna need to disconnect. So I'm gonna spend some time here taking these off real quick. Knock those loose. So we're almost there. Okay, so I believe this is the mass airflow sensor. We need to relocate this from this original airbox, and we need to make sure that it's on this one. Okay, now we're relocating the mass airflow sensor. There you go. So now we can easily plug this in. Okay, so for this, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna bypass the original routing for the PCV system. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna take this hose and I'm gonna go directly into the cold air intake, and it's gonna provide air to be able to breathe within the valve cover and into the engine itself. I'm gonna pop a nerve. Ow! We'll go like so. I'm gonna connect the mass airflow sensor, and then we're gonna hook up the hose that goes to the PCV. We're gonna securely connect this by using this coupler. Okay, so we're gonna connect the piping now from the coupler, and then we'll fasten this to make sure that's nice and secure. And this side, you don't wanna make this more difficult for yourself if you ever have to take it off again. So spend some time coupling this down as we continue to lay down some pipe. What's like the technique? You just bite it off?
You want a knife?
I'll bite off.
Rip from one end to the other. Got it? You don't eat the plastic.
This is the best part. You don't eat the plastic? So now we figured out the situation here with securing this so that this doesn't move around. And it was a matter of actually reusing one of the rubber grommets from the original intake pipe. And we were able to secure this here and secure this here. So now we can move on to the next step and making sure that we get this pipe correctly so that we can eventually put the cone filter on here, and then we can connect that down to here with this coupler. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the air intake down to the lower pipe, and then we're gonna test fit to see if we got this correctly. But I believe it's gonna be something like this, and we'll use the next coupler over here. Probably the best way to do this in theory is jack up the car. You don't have to remove the bumper if you don't want to. What I actually did is I just pulled down this portion of the fender liner, and I was able to sneak the cone underneath. And then now we can take our piping and move it and be able to fasten this and secure it, which just really streamlines this whole installation, or else we would have had to sit here and, you know, take all this stuff off. So for somebody that's gonna do this, you do not have to take off the bumper. Thank goodness. And then now we'll worry about fastening this up, and then we're gonna put the coupler on, and then we should be able to fire up the car and got a cold air intake. Pretty sweet. We're so close to starting this thing up. We're just gonna put this last coupler on. The one thing that I will say for anybody that's gonna go through this, it's a bit nightmarish to actually get the cone filter on. I would advise if you can pull down the entire fender liner, get the car up in the air, it's gonna be much easier for you. But since we're trying to kind of expedite this, I was able to finesse it so we don't have to do all that. And overall, the install wasn't too bad. And I'm really excited just to get this thing fired up and see how it sounds with the new induction. And this will be a real treat for us on Dyno Day. Gotta get some more of that. Gotta make it official. All right guys, so we have everything installed. We just need to tidy things up. But I mean, man, it makes a real huge difference just having all of this room. It makes the engine more accessible in my opinion, because we don't have all this stuff on the left side. And it does open up things for seeing like the engine mount, which looks a little tired, but overall the transmission mount looks okay. The other engine mount actually looks really good, but I'm just really curious to hear what this thing sounds like with the new induction. Might need to do something about the fender liner. I don't know if we need to pilot maybe some new screws up there, but for the most part, it's coming along nicely. I mean, in terms of power delivery, it feels relatively the same. But again, the hybrid racing shifter, man, it's so good. On top of that, with the cold air intake, it feels like an elevated version of what it once was, which was pretty much a complete disaster. Oh, there's definitely a difference in the induction noise. I didn't realize it was gonna be that much louder. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's fun. This thing's silly. All right, we're gonna give this the full Honda power. Whoa! Oh my God. We're not even like going fast at all. It just feels like in here, it feels like we're going a million miles an hour. Very happy with the way the cold air intake came out, and it sounds amazing. I don't know how well it's gonna pick up on camera, but you get like this full induction noise, especially when you go wide open throttle, and it just adds to the experience. I don't think it actually added any horsepower of any kind, but I could be wrong. But I guess we're gonna have to find out once we put this thing on the dyno and see what kind of numbers we can get. So once again, huge shout out to 425 for letting us collaborate and use their facilities, as well as DC Sports for giving us the opportunity to install this cold air intake. And if you want to become a part of the Honda Performance family and you want to receive a 5% discount, I'll make sure to leave all that stuff linked down below. All right guys, so we're lining up. We're about to go right now. I got the AC going because it's actually a really hot day today, but I do want to just do a demonstration just to show you guys the performance difference with the cold air intake. And I will say the one thing is, it's just audibly a lot louder, but and not in a bad way at all. I think it sounds amazing. And I do feel like it's a little bit more breathable. I'm gonna take this corner wide. And the suspension's a little on the stiffer side, so I noticed that I am skipping a little bit, but there's a tremendous amount of grip in this little Honda, and it's a lot of fun. And I I just keep my foot down the majority of the time, so I don't really have to worry about power or anything like that. But I will say the brakes are getting a little soft, because now this has been a couple laps here, but still very easy to drive and understand. And it's just amazing with the little amount of mods that we've done to this so far, how it's really transformed the driving experience. The coilovers really made a difference. It's very flat through here. And I'm gonna take this pretty hot. And I'm just gonna keep my foot buried. To the top. And there you go. Man, what a thing. And then we turn the AC back on, and life's pretty good. So I will say, first things first, hybrid racing short shifter, amazing. If you got a B series, D series Honda, highly recommend this. But more importantly, the cold air intake, the final verdict on it, I think it's worth it for sure. This is actually my friend James right now in the MR2 Spider. I don't know how well it's gonna pick up on camera, but I'll give him a little peace sign. He looks pretty focused though, I don't wanna bug him too much. But in terms of the cold air intake, a lot more induction noise, and it feels like it's much more free flowing. And usually on that back end, at the very finish line when I'm trying to get all the way through the rev band in second gear, before I wasn't able to get all the way to red line, but now I'm easily able to get to around 7,000 RPM and then shift out of it. So I think that's actually a pretty good indicator to show that there is quite a difference when it comes to the performance of that. So if anything, just for the induction noise alone, I think it's worth it 100%. I think I have actually.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I've seen you.
Dude, you got all the good upgrades, the hybrid racing, short shifter, the Momo wheel, the Jordan distributor.
Yeah.
Bro.
I have everything.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah, when I used to daily drive this car, I was like, yeah, I really don't want it to get stolen.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so that's why I have all of that. And I was like, I don't really drive it anymore, but you know, it's still nice to have. Like this, I definitely need this, but sometimes this is still really good. It's just sometimes when I'm cranking it for a long time, I'm like, man, I don't know.
Oh, like it's not gonna start type thing?
Yeah, so I feel like that's gonna happen. Because it's like a little, oh, I'll go hold the brake and keep pressing the button.
Oh, I feel you.
Until it actually starts cranking, then you gotta hold it.
Is this a GSR?
This is a GSR, yeah.
Damn,
it's a
dude.
B20 VTEC sedan.
Nice.
It's all basically stock besides bolt-ons. I have an intake manifold, header, exhaust, and yeah, an intake too. Yeah.
I mean, for mostly stock, it doesn't sound like it. It just sounds
Really?
amazing,
Yeah.
from the outside at least.
Yeah, it's a stock GSR head and then yeah, B20B block.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's like it's not too much.
No, this just feels really nostalgic. Oh yeah, for sure. Appreciate the ride along.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I don't know about you, but it feels like glazed over there in the back. We actually spun out.
Yeah.
take it easy, and then you're just building up boost.
I'm just cruising. The tires are warm. It's good.
This thing's a riot, man.
I know, it rips. I think I'm like 5th in all-wheel drive right now in this thing.
That's amazing. I was shocked you grabbed 3rd.
Oh yeah.
What? Wow. I didn't realize. Is it that close of a ratio? On the gear
Yeah,
box?
I mean, I'm doing the same on my STI. I'm in 3rd gear at that bottom cone.
Oh, really?
I'm in 3rd gear the whole time.
Wow. I'm just like, but I'm very excited though. This is gonna be a blast.
Yeah. Hopefully I drive it okay.
No, John, I've seen you drive, man.
Yeah, but I overdrive a lot.
Oh yeah, good idea. Take that wide. This thing is very planted. Oh yeah. Very tidy.
So it's got some get up.
Oh, absolutely. It feels very composed.
Oh,
Like, it doesn't feel like you're
no.
out of its realm of anything that's uncomfortable, you know?
Like, the MR2s always feel like you're, like, ready to spin. Like, there's a sketchiness to them. It's not, like, sketchy, but this thing, it's like... It just feels like it wants to go fast. Skirt.
Oh, those tires, they're squealing. Oh! Okay. Yeah, the back's pretty stiff.
Oh! I think you just gotta chill. You gotta wait for that car.
Dude, we just spun it. I got way too spicy in there.
Every time I'm in the car with you, man.
I know, I gotta keep you away from me, bro. I'm going to get gas. I'm done for this round.